All right, partygoers, welcome back to Zero Dark Nerdy, the galaxy's most average pop culture podcast, brought to you by Golden Ticket Cinemas right here in Greensboro, North Carolina, formerly Brassfield Cinemas, for all of your cinematic adventures. Sailfish Comics with 3 locations in North Carolina, one in Concord, one in Winston-Salem, and one right here in Greensboro, right across from Best Buy. Cut the Music Prince. For all your custom apparel needs, be sure to hit up Peter Day, good friend of ours. He has done literally every single one of our shirts for the last 7 years now. And let's not forget all of our amazing trivia nights and game nights that we have going on. If you're in the area, you want to come check them out, you should. We normally have winners every single round, prizes galore. You can check them out on Facebook. The group page is Greensboro Game Nights and Events. And of course, on our website, courtesy of our good friends over at Zibster, that is Zibster for all of your website and SEO needs. Just go to popculturepodcast.com, which is our website for all episodes, events, videos, blogs, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, that's gonna do it for our sponsors. Heads up, this podcast contains nerdy debates, spicy takes, and language that may not be suitable for all ages or all species. Opinions are our own and facts are optional. Proceed with caution and snacks. Big thank you to Fox 8. We are very excited about this partnership. And of course, you can still find our video episodes on our YouTube channel and all of our audio episodes on any of your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, everything but pretty much SoundCloud. So it's back to school time. We've done this episode before, but it's been a couple years now, and we're really excited to get back into it. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite high school and college movies as well as shows. I tell you, I grew up, in the 80s, 90s. This was like the high school, college movie era, especially high school. You got John Hughes and all that fun stuff. But before we get into it, I'm so rude. Let me introduce you to myself and my partner in crime. My name is Brian, aka El Nino, and today I'm joined with,
Jordan, aka Baby Knife.
yes, my beautifully talented daughter right here, getting ready to turn 24 next month, which is wild. When I was 24, she was 3 years old. So it's just crazy and amazing at the same time. So, yes, back to school time. I hope all of you out there with the kids out there having some fun. It's a fun time. But we're going to be talking about favorite high school and college movies and shows. Jordan, you want to kick it off or you want me to start?
You start,
Okay.
and then I'll kind of just chime in and follow.
Gotcha. So as I mentioned, I'm an 80s baby, born in the year of our Lord, 1980. And the 80s is John Hughes time, as I mentioned earlier. John Hughes
Mhm.
is one of the greatest writer directors of all time. He only directed, I believe, about 8 films, but wrote a ton of them. Writing credits include Home Alone, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But when it comes to writing and directing credits, my top two has to be The Breakfast Club and, of course, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was very, very young when I saw those movies, I still feel like they have definitely stood the test of time. Just to kind of get started with, let's just say The Breakfast Club came out in 1985 and starred a lot of up and comers known as the Brat Pack back then. You got Molly Ringwald, who played Claire Standish, Judd Nelson, who played John Bender, Anthony Michael Hall, who was also in another John Hughes movie called Weird Science, which I just rewatched today. It's on Netflix. Be sure to check it out. Fun 80s fun right there. He played Brian Johnson. Ali Sheedy played Allison Reynolds, and Emilio Estevez played Andrew Clark. This film actually made detention look like a blast. It really
Right.
did. But it also surprised me too because the library was so massive, and that's where the majority of the movie takes place. As a kid, I thought all libraries and schools were like this. I mean, it was literally like a museum. So it takes place in Shermer, Illinois, which is a fictional town. John Hughes, Chicago native, all that fun stuff. But I mean, It's such a fun movie because you get five people that would normally not get along or even acknowledge each other in high school. Judd Nelson pretty much plays the bad guy. Emilio is the jock. Um, Ali Sheedy is kind of like your punk rock, not really hipster, but just
Goth.
kind of like goth. Yes, the goth chick, pretty much. And then, of course, Anthony Michael Hall plays the nerd. And then you got Molly Ringwald, that's pretty much like the popular girl, the prom queen. And, it takes place in one day. And you get to see how they interact, how they automatically judge each other because of the labels that have automatically been put on them in high school, which I believe that we can all kind of relate to that, right? And especially back then, I went to three high schools in three states, and let me tell you, it was wildly different in each one. Big shout outs to Johnson City, New York. Everybody in Johnson City, New York, our parents all worked at IBM. We were all pretty much either broke or middle class. I moved to Rochester, Michigan for 2 years because my dad got a job at GM. Then I saw what the one percenters, I guess, for lack of a better term, live like, and then finished off my high school career per se down here at Page High School, Page Pirates, where I still have friends to this day that went to Page. And Page I loved because it was very diverse at the time, and it was I was friends with the broke kids, the middle class kids, the rich kids, like everybody under the sun. So, everybody has different experiences in high school. And this one, I feel, again, to this day, you could watch and just kind of see how they're not so distant from each other when it comes down to when they're talking about their parents. And that's a big part of the movie, is like the pressure that comes from parents or the lack of parenting on top of that. So, that being said, Breakfast Club is always going to be there in my
Very
top five.
timeless.
Timeless. A couple fun facts. Judd Nelson's iconic fist pump at the end was not scripted. That was just something that he did, and it's still one of the most memorable scenes of all time. And the intense group therapy scene was very largely improvised. So that's my fun fact for that. And then
That's crazy.
my second film, so this one came out in 85. 86, I think this is probably my number one all-time favorite high school movies to this day. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Matthew Broderick. I don't think anyone has made skipping school as much fun as Ferris Bueller's Day
No,
Off.
definitely not.
I mean, and I'm comparing
That's
it to movies nowadays and everything else. Nothing compares to that ultimate
mm-mm.
day off.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. It's such a comfort movie.
Yes.
I don't know, just everything about it. The characters are so lovable in their own way,
Yep.
and funny. I love Cameron, and he's awkward, and he's one of the funniest characters to his impressions, and
I
um,
still love the scene. I'm not going to answer. He's just going to call. He's just going to keep
yeah,
calling and
so
calling.
good.
Like he was Ross before Ross and Friends.
Right.
He is the ultimate neurotic friend.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And yeah, that movie's just awesome for so many reasons. It just makes you wish you had gone to, for me, makes me wish I would have gone to high school in the 80s, or but then I'll watch like a high school movie in the 90s. I'm like, oh, that was definitely the peak time to be a
Yeah.
teenager or whatever. But yeah, it's the most fun back to school type movie to me by far. Going to the city, the dad stolen Ferrari. Just it's so many iconic scenes. That's another just timeless one that will always be one of the best
Yeah.
back to school.
I feel it will always stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, especially going to Chicago. I mean, they catch a Cubs game. They go to the museum.
Yep.
They go to a fancy French restaurant where he's impersonating Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. Like that's even a thing.
The German festival
Yeah,
with John
yeah,
McShane. I love, love, love that scene.
that's the ultimate, the ultimate, the ultimate. Like no one, and I feel like people have aspired to do this. That is the ultimate skip day. That's the
Mhm.
ultimate day for most people, period. Like, I don't even think celebrities have had a day like Ferris Bueller had.
They probably
That's the thing.
think they
It's
have,
not,
but they
yeah, it's not
haven't.
just a skip day. Like, this day encompassed everything that you would really want to do in a day.
You know, the one of the themes just being like, screw it. Like
Yeah.
life does not have to be that serious. And
And
you know, going driving Ferrari into Chicago and doing all those things he just mentioned, like you know, about it's a great movie, a great reminder that life doesn't always have to be super serious if you don't want it to be. You know, you can just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna skip work or class today or whatever for a mental health day." And
mm-hmm,
go do. You
mm-hmm.
don't have to use the excuse to be sick. Well, you can say
Yeah.
you can be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sick. I'm gonna call in sick today.
Yeah.
But just go do like whatever reminds you like the fun, important things in life that are not just work or school. That's what
Yeah.
that movie, you know, resonates with me. It's just it's a good reminder when you get into like the just the routine of things and like monotony of get up, go to work, go
Yeah.
home is just that movie just reminds me maybe you don't have to do that today.
No. No, it's a mental health timeout.
Like we're not meant to just get
Yeah.
up, work, go home. Like
Which Ferris appreciated that. And, it was his
teaches Cameron
boy
that.
that
Yeah.
teaches Cameron that, where Cameron is strict parents, by the book, need to do this, need to do that. Like, to be honest with you, it should have been Cameron's day off because Cameron
Right.
needed it more than
Oh,
Ferris.
absolutely.
And
He's so
people
tightly
don't
wound.
understand that.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, the famous quote from the movie, and it still applies to this day. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Mhm.
That is the actual point
Exactly.
of meaning. And honestly, I feel like that's the point of life.
Best memories are going to be made probably not at work,
Yep. Not an,
probably
not an
not
itinerary.
probably not in the classroom,
Yeah,
outside the classroom.
exactly. I mean, some of my fondest memories from high school is the stuff that I was not doing in actual school. It was like the few times that we skipped or did this and that and the other. And it's those spontaneous moments where you just get up and go do whatever. For us, it was going to Smith Mountain Lake and breaking into one of our friends' parents' places at Smith Mountain Lake because that's what we could do. And it was beautiful. And we knew we wouldn't get in that much trouble because we knew the place belonged to, someone that was with us. They just didn't happen to get the keys that weekend. Nothing compared to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, of course. But yeah, it to me, it's the all-time. A fun fact, I did not even know this. In 1990, they came out with a TV series called Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which starred a very young Jennifer Aniston who played Jeannie in the movie. Jeannie went on to go do
Mhm.
Dirty Dancing. Um, what's that?
You said she played Jeannie in the show,
Yeah, she
right?
played Jeannie in the show.
Okay.
The actual Jeannie from the movie went on to go do Dirty
Right,
Dancing
right.
and a bunch of other stuff. But unfortunately, it was canceled after one season. But yeah, that was one of Jennifer Aniston's first things before Friends. Besides that, honorable mention. This is definitely one of me and my dad's favorites. The actual movie Back to School also came out in '86 with the late great Rodney Dangerfield as Thornton Mellon. He plays a successful businessman who decides to go back to college to help his discouraged son get through school. Keith Gordon, who is known, some of you that are my age may know him as the main character in the movie Christine about the car that comes back to life. Stephen King plays his son, Jason Mellon, and Robert Downey Jr. plays his son's best friend, the eccentric Derek Lutz. So that's my 80s honorable mention. Fun facts, William Zabka, Johnny from the Karate Kid. This guy was the quintessential 80s bad boy slash bully. From the Karate Kid to this to just one of the guys. William Zabka had that. I mean, he was typecast, unfortunately. And now it's great to see him back, obviously in the Cobra Kai series. He was like a bully that was a part of the diving team, which I don't understand, like why a diving team would have bullies. I'm not talking shit about diving. I know it's not easy, but there was no better bully than him. And then my second fun fact is there's a gigantic party scene. Before I get to this, so this is my college pick of 80s films. The other ones were high school films. I don't know why they do this, but in movies, they make college dorms seem like gigantic apartments,
Right.
and they are not.
Most of the
They are
time,
not.
yes.
I feel like even movies that came out in the 90s and 2000s and 2015, when I finally went to college and I saw my dorm room, I felt like it was a prison cell. It
Hmm.
was just bricks,
Yeah, it
one
is.
window,
That's what
and then
my freshman dorm
we
was
made
like.
bunk beds just so we could have more room, and it was like 300 feet by 300 feet.
Hmm.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that was mine.
where are the dorms that we see in these movies?
Yeah. I mean, I got the apartment style on campus housing
Yeah,
after my freshman year. But my freshman year it was the, two in one room,
yeah,
very small room, brick
tiny,
wall,
no bathroom,
like no closet
no
space,
closet
nothing,
space. Yeah,
it's you just to sleep, which is fine because
yeah,
you're busy anyways, but
yeah. So
it is a
that's
lie that
always my gripe with college movies is they make the dorm room seem like they are these fantastic palaces, even when you're a freshman. But there is one scene where so Thornton Mellon has so much money, he tears down the walls in between his son's room and Robert Downey's room and makes a gigantic dorm room out of all three of their dorms. And he throws a party with the band, real band, Oingo Boingo makes an appearance in the film. Now, this may not mean anything to a lot of you, especially if you're born way after me. And even when I was little, I was like, I don't know anything about this band, but it sounds familiar. So if you're a fan of film scores, especially Tim Burton films, the lead singer of the band is none other than Danny Elfman, who, if you pick a movie nowadays, he has more than likely done the score for that movie, especially Tim Burton films. So he's done everything from Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. He actually did the singing parts for Jack Skellington on
Hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh wow.
Men in Black, Spider-Man. One of my all-time favorite TV shows that doesn't get enough love, but has one of the best intros and scariest intros of all time. Zoom in on me. Scariest intros of all time. Tales from the Crypt.
Hmm.
He did the intro for that. Batman, original Batman with Tim Burton, Good Will Hunting, and many more. So that's it. Last honorable mention, just real quick. Real Genius with the late great Val Kilmer. This is another college one. Just a fun watch wherever you can stream it at. I didn't check to see where you can stream it at. Definitely check it out. So that's it. Besides that, I'm just gonna rattle off some of my favorites from the 80s I don't want to get into. Weird Science, like I just mentioned. Better Off Dead with John Cusack. Can't Buy Me Love with McDreamy before he was McDreamy. Lucas is a classic. Heathers, absolutely amazing. Just One of the Guys, which I mentioned earlier. Such a fun movie, a role reversal movie. Back to the Future, I still consider a high school movie.
Yeah, it is.
Teen Witch is corny as hell, but has some really decent battle rap scenes, amongst other things. And I can't forget Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf is a great high school film. So that's my 80s rundown, real quick.
Okay.
All right, party goers. So this is a little segment we're going to be doing on every episode called Pop Culture Roll Call, where we're going to be calling out random things from each episode, or just it might be random as hell. Plain and simple. Since we're talking about high school and college movies, it is instrumental that we talk about some of the bullies from these films that have made them either iconic or classic, or why we hate these people in the first place.
Right.
So I got to go with my number 5, Regina George. This is for the ladies out there, from Mean Girls, the original. We talked about it off camera. We have not watched the remake, but the leader of the Plastics, played by Rachel McAdams, who was fantastic in Wedding Crashers. And of course, let's not forget The Notebook. But she was phenomenal as the leader of the
Yes.
Plastics in Mean
One,
Girls.
arguably maybe the most iconic bully in American cinema.
I would probably say the number one female bully of all time.
Oh, for sure that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, again, she makes my top 5. The rest of the 4, we go a little bit forward and a little bit backwards. So number 4, Fred O'Banion, played by Ben Affleck. in none other than Dazed and Confused, which I talked about earlier, is one of my go-to films. I love this movie, not just because it's a high school movie, it's just a good movie all around. A little fun fact, after the scene where he gets the paint dumped on him, where he breaks the paddle, apparently there's conflicting reports that he twisted or broke his ankle in that scene, and they kept it in the movie. Then he gets in the car and speeds off. So it's Ben Affleck before he's really Ben Affleck. In that movie, we get a lot of people before they became somebody. Of course, Matthew McConaughey. Going down the list, number three for me, one of my first interactions as a little kid with bullies on screen. I got to go with Scott Farkas, played by Zach Ward, I believe it is, in A Christmas
Okay.
Story. Menacing bully with the red hair and the braces, like the epitome of redheaded stepchild, which used to be like, I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but that used to be a key phrase. And he had the little like raccoon hat, the not John Deere.
Right.
I can't think of the person. Paul Bunyan. I don't know who it is. And then rounding out my top two, bringing it a little bit closer from the 2000s and on, Draco Malfoy, by far, I think is the best bully of the 2000s in general. And just like his, not
hmm
machismo, but just privilege, right? Because of his
Right.
dad, because of his parents,
Oh
just
yeah,
kind of
he's
like that
privileged as
rich kid
hell.
that also knows magic. So played by Tom Felton, did a fantastic job. Honorable mention, even though this has nothing to do with high school, in terms of bullies, though, I gotta say, old boy from Game of Thrones, Joffrey is by far
So
the
just
biggest bully
bully in general.
ever,
Okay.
ever on the planet. Joffrey, and this poor guy, he finally started acting again. He got so much hate because he did such a great job on that role.
Yeah.
But number one for
Wild.
me has definitely got to be William Zabka because he played a bully in a lot of movies. He was a bully in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. He was a bully
Okay.
in Just One of the Guys. And of course, Johnny from the Karate Kid. So like he was the ultimate 80s bully. So that's my top five. Moving it forward. Jordan, who do you got for your bully list?
For my, let's see. For my number five, I'm just gonna do the Heathers, all of them. Um, yeah. If you haven't seen the Heathers, I think we talked about this on one of the previous episodes too. A cult classic. Winona Ryder is not one of the Heathers, but she is at the same time. She doesn't fit in with their clique, but the Heathers I will put as my number five because
Excellent choice.
it's such a OG campy type indie cult movie. And the deaths are, crazy. And I would say Christian Slater, but
Yeah,
like
let's go with the
I
Heathers. Let's
feel
go with the
weird.
Heathers.
I
Yeah,
feel weird putting the school bomber is like in my
yeah,
top five.
yeah.
So the Heathers as a whole
The Heathers
is
is as far as their deaths, it was kind of like Final Destination before Final Destination.
yeah, I don't know how to it's like it's very campy. If you haven't seen
Yeah,
Heathers, what are you doing?
you got to watch it.
Um,
Shannon Doherty, Lisa Ann Falk, and Kim Walker played the other Heathers.
okay, there you go. So that's my number five. My number four, I put Draco.
Okay.
Uh, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, thanks to my TTs, grew up with it. Um, and those are my some of my comfort movies. I've watched them a billion times. I think they're genuinely fantastic movies. And the casting, like they're as far as casting goes, it's really hard to beat. But I think
That's catchy.
HBO is, kind of going off the topic a little bit, but the HBO casting does look pretty decent so far as well. But I'm just saying, this cast was perfect. Tom Felton as Draco really is embodied that character perfectly. Everything with the whole Potter. Every time he says Potter's name, that will always make me giggle a little bit. Just a super iconic bully, of course. And his honestly, his character arc is underrated or like his, the things that he goes through in
Yeah.
the movies all the way up to spoiler alert if you're living under a rock, but like killing Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Like that whole journey is actually really kind of sad but interesting
Hmm.
um about how he was raised and grew up. So, and then my number three, I'm gonna go with Jeannie from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And this
Ah,
one's funny because like she's not really a bully,
no,
but like she's
no.
Ferris's bully, and then you could kind of say, well, is Ferris her bully? And it's yes, either
That's a
one.
good one.
Either one is a valid answer. But
Yeah.
I love Jeannie. I love that her facial expressions in that movie are just so good. I don't know what it is. The looks of disgust she gives him. Obviously the iconic chase scene toward the end where he's trying to get back in his room, back in bed. I love their dynamic. I think they're bullies to each other, so Jeannie's my number three.
Good old Jennifer Grey. Mwah.
Yeah. And then number two, I'm gonna go with Ava from Abbott Elementary. She's the school principal,
Oh, nice.
and she's iconic for her, what do you call it? Just reading people,
For
just
gusto.
anybody, even the students.
Yeah.
She'll just stop them right there and just say it how it is. She might be my favorite character in the show. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kind of on that, I can't believe I should have
He's
included
like
my,
the Dwight Schrute of Abbott Elementary, but she's
yeah,
also the principal.
she's hilarious. She's sarcastic. She doesn't give any care
Really.
about what she says to the students or the teachers. She makes a lot of jokes. And it's kind of like this is my honorable mention before I get to my number one. She's kind of a little reminiscent of a more PG Sue Sylvester from Glee, which
Okay.
we also talked about recently. But Jane Lynch in Glee is the principal, and she is an iconic PB bully.
Yeah, she's a
She really
powerhouse.
doesn't care. I mean, just anything goes. So Ava kind of reminds me of her, but in the very unique Abbott Elementary way. Um, she has a great character arc too, because she presents herself as sarcastic and thinks she's better than everybody, but you kind of see how her character ends up developing some, and so that's a great story too. Great show, Abbott. My number one is Carrie.
Wow.
I love Carrie. I
You
even love
consider her a bully.
well, I'm doing the like she reclaimed
Okay.
the bully
Okay.
status, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, obviously she was the one being harshly
Right.
bullied, but
Right.
when she reclaimed it and got revenge and bullied back,
Yeah.
there's no more
She
iconic.
wouldn't, she wouldn't take in that nonsense.
Yeah, and I love the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz.
Oh,
I
so
love
good.
that's so underrated.
Yeah.
He's great,
Agreed.
but yeah, love
Agreed.
Carrie, big horror fan, so she had to be
Nice.
number one.
Nice. Oh my goodness. There we go. Well, that's going to wrap up this little segment here for our high school and college two-parter. So this one's going to lead into part two,
Hmm.
correct? Yep. So yeah, check out the rest.
Yeah.